What is up, everyone, and welcome back to more Sword Art Online War of Underworld. I am here with my reaction to episode 22.
Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. Today, the Institute is announcing the birth of the world's first true artificial general intelligence.
Okay, this feels awfully soon that we're going this public with Alice.
Alice.
Oh my god! Alice!
People of the real world, good day to you. My name is Alice. Alice Synthesis 30.
Oh my god! They even made her like a vessel that looked exactly like Alice from the Underworld. This is crazy! Oh my gosh! This is so gonna get abused in future. Honestly, like, the wrong people will eventually get a hold of this, I think. Now, don't forget, if you want to watch the Patreon-style version of this video, to head on over to my website, suzylu.co.uk, and become a VIP member.
Wow! She's wearing our school's uniform! I heard she asked for it specifically. She said she wanted to wear the same uniform as the knights who came to help the human guardian army. It wasn't her first choice, though. She really wanted to wear the same gold armor she had in the Underworld.
I just can't believe this. Like, they've managed to find a way to bring them to our world. We could have had Yu-Gi-Oh!
How is Ms. Alice here different from any of the other programmable robots that have been developed so far?
Her brain, actually. I'm referring to the mind, not the organ. Her consciousness, which is stored in the photonic brain in her skull, isn't a program made up of binary code. Essentially, it functions the same as a human brain. That's what makes her different from the robots we have currently.
Because she's not
Perhaps
a freaking
you
robot.
could show
like,
us what you mean
she's
with
one
the
of
demonstration?
us, which is
I'm sure my
terrifying when you
colleagues
think
here and
about
the viewers
it.
at home would appreciate.
I would not mind. But first, could you please prove to us that you are not a robot? It is only fair.
Well, I'm obviously human. How would I go about proving it?
It is simple. I could open your skull and show everyone here your brain.
Wow! Can you imagine how terrifying that would be if a robot said that to you? Be like, she's gonna kill us all!
Let me make one thing perfectly clear. Our institute has no intention of providing true AI for application in simple labor.
But the financial sector seems to have hopes you will. In fact, the stocks of industrial robot manufacturers shot up when you announced this presser.
A true AI, or rather, what we like to call an artificial fluctlight, is not the sort of thing that can be mass-produced in a short amount of time. They're born as infants and raised by their families from children to adults, just like us. They mature and develop their own unique personalities, just like us.
I know that in a weird way, I mean, we created Alice, we did all of this. But with the way that people are with their greed, I actually feel like we don't deserve Alice.
I believe in a century or two, our society will advance to the point where we'll be living with them as equals, interacting freely with them and accepting them as ordinary. We'll even marry and start families with them. It's only a matter of time, really. And since a shared future with them is inevitable, it would be immoral to subject them to slavery.
But they're not like us! Their existence is totally different from ours. They're mechanical, made by humans in a factory. How are we supposed to accept them as equal?
Oh, this is gonna lead to a very interesting discussion. Oh.
When we learned of your existence, a man from my world pointed something out. Suppose the real world also had a creator. Who created them? And how many more creators are there behind them? I ask you, if your creator appeared before you one day and made you their slaves, how would you respond to that? Would you grovel, pledge loyalty, beg for mercy?
Nah, what the fuck?
I feel deeply for one of them. Dare I say I love him.
Oh!
And the thought of not being able to see him now pains me so.
See, she's just like by all of this.
I extend my hand in friendship to the people of the real world, and hope you will take it. But I will not kneel to you, nor grind my head in the dirt for your favor. I will not, because I am human too.
See, that's the thing. Most people will be looking at Alice as, ah, cool, let's get her to do the shitty jobs, you know? Whereas Alice is like, excuse me, like, I'm not your slave, I'm real. So, it's gonna be a difficult balance, this one.
We also just learned a JSDF officer was killed in the raid.
Oh,
Damn it,
no!
Keeks. I can't wrap my head around the fact that out of all of us, you were the one that had to die. It ain't right.
I know.
Oh! 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 It's fake!
They could have either had me dragged into court and turned into a scapegoat, or they could have had me disappeared for real. But with me dead, the public's attention is right where we want it to be. On the bureaucrats in our government trying to sabotage our goals. I didn't think it went all the way up the ladder to the Vice Minister of Defense, though. That was truly shocking.
Okay, so he's not actually dead, per se. It's just they've told everybody that he died. Although his injury did look pretty severe, though.
Even if they had other plans to get it, they won't try after seeing this.
Yeah, I guess not. And we have him to thank for getting us here.
And he's still not even awake! Oh my gosh. So I wonder how long it'll take then. 200 years. I mean, I was under the impression that they were never waking up anyway.
What if they decide to, I don't know, rise up and take us over?
We have considered that possibility, but it's a stretch. That could only happen if, say,
She
we
knows.
tried to...
She's sensing him, isn't she? She's like, Kirito, Kirito?
I must take my leave now.
Ah, she's connected! Oh my god.
They're coming out of it!
Kirito!
Whoa,
Alice!
Careful!
Alice, you know that he's taken, right? Oh!
How's it going, Alice?
Ah! Oh my god!
It's about your little sister. She went into deep freeze because she wanted to wait for you. She's up on the 80th floor of the Central Cathedral, on that hill, sleeping.
Can we not just dive back in and see her?
Dump the last 200 years from my memory, back to when the Max Excel phase kicked in. Me and Her Highness are done there.
Okay, I feel confused because all this big thing of like he wasn't ever gonna get out in his lifetime? What happened with that? That was a thing, right?
Hey, you. Sorry I'm so late.
You're not. I only woke up a second ago.
So now what? We've got Alice, who has confessed she's in love with Kirito. You've got Sinon, who's in love with him. Ah.
You know when they're letting me out of here? 3 days from now.
Really? Then we should celebrate with a party, or two. We can have one in ALO and in real life.
Sounds good to me.
I'm actually surprised that he would want to go anywhere near VR after that experience. I don't know. I'd be so put off it at this point. Like, too dangerous. It's all gone.
It's okay. Deep down inside, the memories are always there.
I don't understand why he would want them to be erased, though. Is it just too much information? Like, 200 years is a long time to have that information. Why get rid of it?
A little bird told me you were getting out soon. This calls for a celebration.
Nurse Aki just told me about that, so either you have my room bugged or you're psychic. I don't want to know either way.
Who cares? The point is, you're doing great. I mean, bouncing back from a coma after only a week of rehab? Talk about the power of youth. The government still hasn't picked a scapegoat to save face. It's only a matter of time, though. They've been itching to dismantle Wrath, and when they do, all our tech will get divvied up by the major conglomerates. They'll seize Alice, then they'll probably reinitialize the light cube cluster on the turtle.
Wait, no! See, this is why I always thought that bringing Alice to the real world was a bad idea, just because of bad people. Subscribe. Subscribe, okay? Subscribe.
The connection. Kikuoka. Please, don't let it die. Please save it.
Well, that's it. We've taken Alice out of that world. If they let it die, you are killing all those people. I wish we could take them all out. I don't even know if they'd want to come out, though. That's the thing. And it kind of gets me thinking about our master, you know? I don't know, I have like some outer body experiences when I'm watching this show.
Once it finds out it's a copy, there's no way a human soul saved on a light cube can survive the strain. Not even his soul.
Who is that? Is it you, Higa?
Yeah, it is.
So you didn't delete me. Instead, you copied and saved me.
I did. I couldn't delete you. You're the first Flucklight I've ever seen that survived 200 years. Do you know what that means? You're the longest living person in human history. You!
Is my Flucklight the only one you made a copy of, Higa?
I bet you done it for Asuna too.
The Queen, that is, Asuna. She and I talked about the possibility of this. She said that if she were the only one who got copied, she would have herself deleted right away. And if we both got copied, we'd use whatever time we had left to unite the real world and the Underworld.
What about if only you were copied? Did you talk about that?
Yeah. We decided if that happened, I'd protect the Underworld and fight only for it. If it came to that.
What do you mean, fight?
The Underworld's fate is extremely unstable over there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
They're gonna shut it down because, as per usual, when they don't understand something, they get rid of it for safety or whatever.
There's no way to connect to the turtle or the cluster now. The satellite link's been cut off.
There's another link. We use that.
What link?
It's Heathcliff. Akihiko Kayaba. We need to find him right away. You will help find him, won't you?
He's still alive?
Well, he was in the robot and the robot moved.
A copy of Akihiko Kayaba and Kazuto Kirigaya. What would happen if those copies, people, came into contact?
Well, I mean, they're kind of rivals, so I don't think it would be great.
I have to know what'll happen.
Did you ever stop to think, why? Why do you want to know what would happen? Like, come on. There's so much in this sometimes where it's like, did you stop to ask yourself, should I do this? You know, yes, you can, but should you do it? So, great, now we can kind of start cloning people. We don't need, well, the women would probably like one more Kirito, I can imagine.
Hey! I tweaked that skill you taught me the other day. Let's go to the training hall so I can show you. I knew it. You snuck out to buy snacks again. I hope you got some for me this time.
It's gonna sound so sad, but Yujiro was the only one that I wanted to come into the real world, and we didn't even get him. He's gone.
Should have had all my memories in that place deleted. Everything, especially the time I spent with Yujiro.
Tell me about it. All the fun things and the sad things. From the beginning to the end.
When I met him, I was walking through a forest. Yujiro was chopping at a tree. He was a woodcutter in the Underworld. His job was to cut down this big cedar, a tree that, for 300 years, couldn't be cut down by anyone.
And that was where our story began! Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful, you guys. She's so beautiful.
I feel like I might die.
Why? 'Cause you're in love, or... What do you mean? Oh, I feel like this is gonna end, like, with such a cliffhanger, and it's gonna leave me so confused, you guys. So there's a couple of things about the episode, Kirito, okay? Kirito and his copy. So if we remember back at the start of this show, this season, the guy made a copy of himself, but then when he tried to explain that he was the copy, he kind of freaked out a little bit, and then they ended up like terminating the whole thing, and I remember it was quite distressing for Asuna. So it was quite interesting that Kirito knew, like the copy knew that he was a copy, like he knew that there was a possibility that they would get copied. Shouldn't you have asked? You know, yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. But could you imagine if the copy comes to the real world and then they meet and yeah. And also the copy didn't seem to have any of Kirito's, I mean, he's kind of happy, but not really. But it didn't seem to have much to him. He was very like placid, I guess is the word I'm thinking, which could indicate that his personality is going to be very serious. I think the other point as well, where they were discussing that they were the king and the queen. Now, obviously, we don't know what happened in those 200 years. The other thing that confused me as well was when Kirito came out, he wanted his memories wiped, and that didn't happen for some strange reason, and I don't quite understand why that never happened. Like, he did specifically ask. And obviously now he's crying because Yujiro was his best friend and he's got all these memories and Yujiro's gone. And I mean, as if Kirito doesn't already have enough PTSD and he's already lived for like 200 plus years. Like, good lord, this poor boy, you know? It's just crazy. I mean, Asuna seems perfectly normal to me, but Kirito definitely... I worry about him, I will be honest. I worry for his sanity at this point. There's so much for me to take in at the moment, and I feel like it's setting us up for even more from the world of SAO. So we are definitely not done after this season. I don't think so. Thank you so much for watching my reaction to this episode, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!